Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the GonzoEwok channel with me, Gonzo.
And me, Ewok.
For another episode of
Geordie
Space Program.
Today, this is Geordie Space Program, take 2.
It certainly is, yes. We recorded 10 minutes of the episode, then realised that we hadn't set the microphone up, which was a bit of a shambles. Could be something to do with the fact that we've started drinking some beer. Unlike most of our episodes, we usually record these on a Saturday afternoon, where it's very civilised and behaved.
Now it's a Friday evening.
Friday night in Newcastle. You know what that means? That means the beers are flown.
Oh, there we go. There's the rocket that we put on the launch pad in take 1.
Yeah. So, this episode, what we're looking to do is... Do you want to explain, Ewok?
Yeah, we're looking to rescue some of the guys we've got stuck on the moon. We've got 3 guys stuck on the moon, one of which is stuck there for the moment because his ship's upside down and he can't get out of it. But from one of our attempted moon bases...
One of 2 attempted moon bases.
We've got Urzon, who's standing out. We've got... we're on that bit, the broken bit, and we've got Munford. So we've got Urzon and Munford. We're going to try and rescue them.
If Urzon was Munford's son, there'd be Munford and
There
son.
would be Munford and son.
There you go.
And they're smack bang in the centre of this crater, which is where we're going to try and pick them up from.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason we've got a 3rd guy there, but if anybody watched any of the previous episodes, you'll know that those attempted moon bases ended up upside down, which blocked the hatches. And if you watch those episodes, we did try to get somebody out with an EVA while we were sort of jimmying the rocket on its back. Yeah. Unfortunately, the rocket just kind of, or the base just kind of prolapsed, created like a little fart.
Good use of prolapse there.
Prolapse, there we go.
Ending in a fart.
Prolapse ending in a fart. The worst of all prolapses and farts, I think you'll find. But yeah, that happened, and of course that signifies he's trapped. Fortunately, there's probably not much we can do with him short of building some sort of intergalactic forklift. So what we're going to do is rescue the ones that we can. Now, you've been talking with me off camera just while we were getting things setting up, ready for recording.
Setting up sort of future plans for the show, and what we plan on doing. Actually, we only need the 1 because that's got the capacity of 3, doesn't it? So we'll use that. Bugger, there we go. The reason we want to start bringing the guys back and wrapping things up, I mean, we're still going to be recording videos and doing missions and whatnot for the foreseeable future, but we are also conscious of the fact that Kerbal Space Program 1.0, aka the official release edition of Kerbal Space Program, is...
It's imminent.
It's imminent, yeah. And we're probably going to reboot the series then, so we can take advantage of some of the new features and some of the features from the last upgrade that we missed out on because of where we started the game. Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest, a lot of the existing rocket designs that we have probably aren't going to work very well, if at all, under the new release, because the aerodynamic engine's been completely changed, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's something actually I'd be quite curious to hear your thoughts on as well. I know we've got a small following for the series, but the guys that do watch this are fairly active. They like to comment, they like to talk to us. We're thinking of rebooting the series and probably going to have to, but I'd be curious to see what people have got to say, you know. Let's do a bit of a post-mortem on the next generation. What worked, what didn't, what did you enjoy, what didn't you enjoy, what would you like to see in the new series? And of course we'll always do our best to try and get that out to you know.
I mean, we've already got some ideas that we're floating around. One of the ones that we're thinking about is reducing the video length by cutting out some of the unnecessary stuff. Stuff like me building this rocket right here.
I think it's worth pointing out that when we first started recording, we had like 0 editing experience, recording experience, broadcasting experience, and I'm not saying that we're masters, but we're certainly better than we were just over a year ago. Our first video went up, I was double checking this, 5th of February 2014.
Hell, we have come a long way since the original series, certainly, because the original series had some proper car crashes in. Yeah. And you might be watching these series and thinking, well, what's changed?
Yeah.
But believe me, we were pretty bad back then if you haven't watched any of them.
Not just in terms of gameplay, I'm talking in terms of physically, like recording, editing, putting stuff out, you know, like we're better at doing that now. And I think the other thing is now, we've actually got a bit of a feeling of who's watching my videos and who's enjoying it and what seems to work well with the audience and what doesn't. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason we play these games and the reason that we do this is because we enjoy doing it. You know, it's not like we're doing it to be performing monkeys to a crowd, although it's certainly, you know, I'm not saying, oh, without the audience it's a good or a bad thing. We love having people watch the videos, and it's something that gives me a hell of a lot of satisfaction when people are saying that they're enjoying watching them. But predominantly, we do this because we enjoy it. That being said, it would be great to hear your thoughts. What would you like to see in the next videos? If anything, we struggle sometimes to come up with good ideas. So it'd be quite nice to hear your thoughts about, well, what would you like to see we try and do, and all of that kind of gubbins, really. So, right, as I've been gibbering on here, you're putting together a very basic looking lander.
It is, yep, very basic looking. I mean, it's got one job: get there and get back. So I need to focus on it having sufficient fuel and sufficient lift, and that's basically all it needs.
Do you not want a decoupler on that very top bit so the capsule can separate from the tanks and the engine?
Why do I want the capsule to separate from the tanks and the engine? Talk me through your thoughts.
Tanks and engines can be heavy. If we've got a pool and a shitload of fuel in that thing, we're not going to burn that much of it. By the time we've landed and even bringing back, we'll have a heavy fuel tank that's still probably half full, and an engine.
So do you mean putting a smaller fuel tank and a smaller engine
No,
on there?
no, I mean putting a decoupler there, so when we're coming back, we can get rid of that bit and just have the capsule.
But then we're just throwing that away for no reason. The weight's not going to slow it down because...
No, the weight's going to make us speed up. Remember, in space, there's no such thing as weight. As soon as we come through the atmosphere, there's weight.
You're just throwing money away. We need to recover as much as we can.
Right.
We'll come back to that.
Right. If we, by some miracle at this stage, manage to get to the moon, save our little chaps, bring our little chaps back, and then the dash into the ground because that thing's too heavy and we can't get rid of it, there's going to be ructions.
Ructions, I tell thee.
You know that I'm serious because I'm using old-fashioned terms.
Okay, buddy.
Right. So...
you know, I haven't played this since we last recorded, and when we last recorded, how many did we do at once?
I think 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
It's got to be a good month since we recorded.
So I'm really nervous about...
Especially you just throwing something together on the fly, that doesn't work particularly well. That's definitely going to need some gantries to hold it because they'll not support the weight.
Oh yeah, it's going to have some.
top.
It's going to have some gantries. Don't you worry about that. But I'm worried that I'm not even going to break orbit with this thing because we haven't done any delta V calculations. Like, not that we ever did.
Yeah, because we're always mindful of delta V.
Not that we ever did, but
do our sums. We didn't even do our sums in our bloody maths class.
Shall I just give it a go? And if it doesn't work, then we'll land it and we'll refine it and we'll come back with something else. Rather than spending ages trying to build something that might not work, we'll spend a short time building something that might not work. And if it doesn't, we'll fix it.
Aye, I think that sounds like a good idea.
Right, we want to send a pilot, so we'll send Lamble.
Aye, go on, Lamble. Be the hero. Now is your time to shine.
Oh! What am I talking about? This is nowhere near finished. I need some RCS, certainly. We don't need any science equipment.
We've only drank like a glass of beer. I mean, it's strong beer, but we've only drank one.
6.6%. Oh, lovely.
Aye.
This episode of Geordie Space Program is sponsored by Leth.
You see, if you say shit like that, now with the YouTube recording, monitoring algorithm, they'll pick that up and go, we never sponsored that. And then they'll shut it down. Left hit squads flying in through the windows, riddling us with corks, or whatever they've got.
Riddling us with corks.
Aye, cork guns. That's the thing about Left. I do like it as a drink, but every now and again...
every now and again, when they send the hit squads around, you wonder what sort of a company you're supporting.
Aside from that, yeah, I mean, the death squads is always a questionable one. But no, what gets us is the bottles. If you've ever drank Left at all, maybe you're not old enough to drink, but maybe if you do, you drink Left. The bottles come with corks in. It's almost like opening champagne. It's got like a little foil top, and you've got to pop your cork. But
Pop your cork.
Pop your of course, you see, get the puns in. But... The cork itself, sometimes you get a bad cork. You know what I'm on about. You nearly thought you had one with this bottle.
Yeah,
where the cork
took a while to get it open.
It just won't come out for no apparent reason. And it's a carbonated fizzy drink. That cork should be trying to scream out the bottle when you open it. But sometimes you get a bad left. See, that's how you can tell we're not sponsored by them.
Oh, because we're criticising
Bad
them
left.
unnecessarily.
Lovely drink, shitty corks.
I nearly forgot the solar panels and stuff, which would have been a disaster. But there we go. I think that's all right. Let's make sure the staging's right. Parachutes.
That's not right.
Oh, that's not right. That needs to go there. And we've got all of this shizzy whiz going on there. Right, we're going to need a couple of stages. The first, they're going to be the second best thing.
Is there any particular reason why you're using the medium solid rockets and not the big ones?
Yes.
Why is that?
Stupidity.
Please don't be stupid. I mean, it's only rocket science.
No, there
You've got a hard on for them little medium-sized ones. I've noticed this in the past few videos. Every time you've went to grab one, you've always put them piddly ones on. We've got the big ones.
They're first. And when you look at them there compared to there,
they look thinner. The big ones look smaller.
It looks the same size almost, only those ones look fatter. So you all have them and then you go, I don't know.
Twice the thrust. Double your pleasure. Right.
Let's get them lined up, make sure everything's perfect and even and... Alright. Super, Hungy, and Dory. That's still not right.
I'm enjoying this recording on a Friday, mind. I'll be honest.
I could get used to it.
Aye. I mean, the main reason that we're doing that on a Friday night is, well, one, you said, do you fancy recording the night because you're doing stuff tomorrow? So usually when we'd record on a Saturday or out and about. Also, my missus has went on a little city break with some of her lady friends down to York, so kind of left by me lonesome. I like to think you've done your sort of caring community duty by coming across to visit us, keep us company, make sure I don't cause any damage to myself or my house or to society in general.
And I'm sure she'll be grateful for that as well.
Certainly will.
My main worry now is that the weight of this rocket, when I fire these solid fuel boosters, it's just going to reverse into struts. It's just going to reverse into the runway and launch pad and blow it to bits. Don't try and take off from the runway; that'll not work.
It probably would. You'd probably be all right. I mean, it's just a patch of ground. Right.
Anyway, you mentioned I was busy tomorrow, and I've been busy today. I've been doing my driving lessons at age 31. So, road users beware. The person who pilots these crafts that you see
is making himself mobile.
Is now, on the road and hopefully doing a little bit better than he does when he pilots rockets.
I'm sure you'll be pretty good at driving, to be honest, mate. And the thing is, like I was saying to you when we were chatting the other night on Facebook, if they give me a license and they think I'm safe to drive, you'll be absolutely fine. I mean, I've been driving it a few years. I think I was in my early 20s when I did it. I wasn't a spring chicken when I did my driving test, mate. But it's one of the best things you can do. If you're out there and you don't drive, you really should do. Get yourself up there and get yourself mobile.
That's not a very environmentally friendly message there, Gonzo.
Wear sunscreen and kill cows. Cows cause so much greenhouse gas. I'm not one of these global warming deniers, but...
do you know why that is?
Burgers?
It's because none of them take public transport.
Cows. Ooh! Wait, it's up? No, it's not up. Look at that! That's the most amazing special effects I've ever seen in any episode of Geordie Space Program. Look at the fight. Where you going? Oh, look at that money hitting the deck. Jesus H. Christ!
Get the legs out!
I'm going to get another beer.
Will you get me one as well, buddy? We will be right back after this short intermission. And welcome back. We have refreshed ourselves and are ready to go. Gonzo's pouring himself a beer.
I need it after that. Jesus Christ!
I have to say, mate, I am glad we are here at your house on the PC that mounts the world, because with all that going on, I love that little bit of debris just sticking out the runway. But with all of that going on, that would have slowed my PC down to a crawl with all those explosions. It looked particularly sweet on this.
And you have just enjoyed the most expensive 15 seconds of Geordie Space Program to date, and we've had some expensive moments. Right.
So let's repair that.
What? 200 grand down now?
Well, we've still got plenty of money.
For nothing. I mean, if you wanted to see explosions, we could have bought some fucking fireworks.
I think the key to this is that I shouldn't have second guessed myself. I was completely right to think that the whole thing was going to go tits up and that we didn't have enough thrust. So
why didn't we just use the old meaty rocket? We knew that took off.
Like everything else, this can be solved with more rockets. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to take these off. And you know what? I'm going to do something a little sneaky here. I'm going to turn that into just a single one.
Right.
And I'm going to stick 3 solids onto it.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry about symmetry or anything. Again, it's only rocket science.
I am worried about symmetry. And fact, I'm going to use those bits as a guideline. So you know it goes 1, 2, nip over like that.
Right. It's already 75 grand and it's bong-eyed. That doesn't look as though it's on properly either, mind.
Yeah, that certainly doesn't look straight.
So all of your careful symmetry there is bong-eyed as well now.
Yeah, but that's funny. We just need to move everything over one little click.
Jesus.
Do you remember the days when you used to engineer the rockets?
I remember the days that, apart from a couple of issues, some of the time took off.
And the beautiful thing is that when you used to design the rockets, when they went wrong, I could sort of get rid of the responsibility of it from the pilot's point of view, saying, "Oh, it was definitely design error."
But I mean, at the same time, the thing is, you've kept on playing Kerbal Space Program way more than I have. I think I've only got maybe a half dozen extra hours that I've put into the game since probably when we first started recording.
That looks alright, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
Right, so I'm going to pick that up again. Not from there though. God no. Stick it on symmetry mode. And back 4 of them down. How does that look?
Shite. Get it up.
I think that looks damn good. Right, let's get some struts on those solids. I want to make sure. What happened there?
What do you mean? What happened?
How much is this thing costing? 170. Why isn't it right?
174 to rescue
I'm just
three.
Gonna leave
three
them like
chaps.
that.
Put the whatchamajiggers on the construction-y. You know what? Yeah. Every time I call them construction-y bits, and what's really charming is you always know.
I always know what you
the
mean.
Gibberish that I'm on about.
Of course I do.
That's why we've been friends for the best part of 20 years. Right.
Right, let's pop them down there. And that as well. And we want those stage engines to pop off at that point as well. So
I've
got the extra thrust.
Did I tell you, like, obviously I went into the doghouse for buying the PC that'll mount the world with my wife.
Oh dear.
Not seriously bad, like, me and my missus, we don't argue, but you could tell she was kind of like, really? You've spent like 1,600 quid on a toy? And I was like, it's not a toy, you don't understand. But in any event, I knew that she wasn't particularly happy about it. So I thought, right, see, I'm quite a crafty one. Crafty one is Gonzo. So what I did was, I knew there's only 2 games in the entire world that my missus plays.
Theme Hospital. I know she likes Theme Hospital.
She likes Theme Hospital, that's one. She likes Rainbow Islands.
Oh,
so
right.
I noticed probably about a week after I got the PC.
Okay, you can continue. This works. You might want to turn that down.
I will turn that down. But yeah, so Theme Hospital and Rainbow Islands, and I noticed a week after I'd bought the PC that the Origin store, which I know, boo, hiss, cross fingers, fucking evil, you know, Electronic Arts, but they put you could get a free download of Theme Hospital on there.
No, they are good for that.
Aye.
I've got a lot of bad blood with EA from some of the things
I think
I've
everybody
purchased.
does. If you play video games, I think generally you've got a bone to pick with EA. But in any event, I noticed that I had it for free, so I got that. And my missus has been playing it quite a few nights, and the two of us will sit down. She'll sit where you're sitting, just playing on the computer. I'll sit here, we'll have a few drinks. And some of the stuff she comes out with, honestly, she would be great at YouTube. Keep saying like we should record some of our Theme Hospital stuff, just because some of the things that she's shouting at the little guys when they're running around, or like there's a rat in a hospital or something like that. It's hilarious. I've been in stitches.
I love those old Bullfrog games. They were fantastic. Theme Hospital, Theme Park, Dungeon Keeper. I mean, there's been so many titles have come out that have tried to emulate Dungeon Keeper, but have unfortunately
let's
not
be honest,
succeeded.
even Electronic Arts fucked it up themselves when they did the reboot.
I was at Gamescom and I hadn't heard anything about it, and I was in the EA bit, and I saw
24 hours for your imp to take down a block.
I saw a sign, Dungeon Keeper, and I was like, my god, EA are rebooting Dungeon Keeper. I was going to go and see, I don't even know what I was going to see, I think it was one of the Need for Speed games, and I was like, nah, sack that off, I'm going to go and see Dungeon Keeper.
Of course, why wouldn't you?
And I was treated to a presentation from, so, I don't know, the guy, like, he was trying to be enthusiastic about it, and talking about how he was a big Dungeon Keeper fan, but I got the impression that he was just sort of being bullied into making this cash cow. No, he was one of the dev team, and I mean, he showed us it, and it looked quite good. But it became quite apparent that what they were showing me was the hacked dev version, where you could do what you want in real time,
like the original Dungeon Keeper,
and not the proper sale version where you have to buy coins in order to get anything done in less than 24 hours. And they took the whole concept away from, I don't know, being a game into being this.
You will give us money so you can mine your blocks, you little pishers. Basically.
Yeah, I don't feel like I explained that very well, but I mean, just look the game up, people, and realise how much they've shat on the legacy of Dungeon Keeper
franchise.
And Paradox did Empire, and for all its flaws, it was quite good, but it did not
it doesn't
hit the
charm.
I
scratch that
the
same
Dungeon Keeper had.
Same itch. But so in any event, we've turned into bitching with EA. It's the easy way of doing commentary. Let's just, when in doubt, just insult Electronic Arts. But yeah, getting back to the point, what I was saying was, even though it means Origins on my computer, which it makes me skin crawl at the thought of it, they did give us Theme Hospital for free, which then cheered me misses up. So, they've done me a good turn on that sense,
I mean, you can't knock free games.
Nah.
And it is a nice thing that they're doing with the. I mean, you get things like that on PlayStation Plus, but you've got to pay for it.
Aye.
You get free weekends on Steam, but it's the weekend, and then you've got to pay if you want to carry on after that.
Doesn't Xbox One do something similar now? I think, I don't know. I haven't got any of the next gen consoles.
Yeah, I believe Xbox One does a similar thing. I think they kind of stole the idea from PlayStation Plus, but it's something. But EA are actually doing it quite well because they're just giving away the stuff for free. You don't even have to own any other games on Origin. You can get.
Yeah, that's literally all I did. I remembered I had an account set up from an EA game that I was probably playing about 3 years ago, where I'd set up an Origin account.
This rocket is gash, by the way.
Yeah, it's absolutely appalling.
But
we'll see what can happen once you're out in space. If it can get one in orbit, there's probably enough fuel with that poodle to do it. I think we'll be alright.
Yeah, we should be okay. If not, what's the worst that'll happen? Just one more person stuck on them, man.
We've probably not talked about the game in like 5 minutes, just while we went on that little mini rant.
Ah, well.
What kind of voice was that?
What kind of noise?
Oh, well! Oh, well!
Go fuck yourself, Gonzo.
It's alright, you've only done that to the whole of the friggin' internet.
The whole of the internet. You flatter yourself if you think more than 20 people are going to watch this video.
No, you see, your problem is you're not thinking big and you're not thinking ahead. I'm thinking in 20 years' time when we own the internet because of what we're building here.
When it's mandatory, you want to go online, you have to watch a full episode of Geordie Space Program before you can go to your site of choice.
And leave comments and share it amongst your friends.
It's going to revolutionise the world.
Yeah. When talks with Bill Gates.
It's going to be even slower to get online than the 56k modem is. But once you've got past that initial episode, you can get all the titties that you want.
That's basically the episode ends, and Tartars suddenly just crossed his old fade straight into your face.
Right, well late on that manoeuvre, Node.
That was it. Yeah, it was appalling.
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Mate, I'm not worried about anything. I'm a couple of beers down now. I'm quite happy.
Oh, there goes my noises again.
Jesus.
What the hell's going on there? Is that all the failed struts that I was trying to put? Oh no, it's from the large decouplers, isn't it?
Oh, yes,
it's a nice little aesthetic, isn't it? Though?
It's like prison for your fuel.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad actually. We might hit orbit with this stage, which will be nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fuel in there. Those engines are sucking it, but there's a lot to suck. So, giggity.
Giggity. And now we're being sued by Family Guy.
Why? Well, if you're going to be sued,
you know what
sued
I found
by
out
a conglomerate of companies,
which I think is absolutely awesome. You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson and the TV program that he did.
I know Degrassi Junior High.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a physicist, an astrophysicist.
Right.
And he did. You know what I'm talking about. I watched the entire series. I forgot the name of it, but he did a science series. Yeah, that's right. Have a look around up for the man. He did a science series. Got a lot of flack in the States for not talking about, creationism when he was talking about the formation of the universe and evolution and things like that.
Oh, right. Okay then. Yeah.
But it's an excellent series. Look him up, Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's really well done. Quite easy to understand. But also gives you like a really good scientific overview of the solar system, life on our planet, things like that. And I recently found out that he met Seth MacFarlane at a conference about educational content on TV.
Right.
and Seth MacFarlane essentially bankrolled part of the project and became the producer on the project.
Yeah, he strikes us like a
which is
cool,
it's quite
cool
a serious
guy,
thing for like a comedy show, right?
For a guy that's
producer
known
to
for
do.
doing the program with all the dick jokes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like amazing. Really, I always liked the guy's stuff, but that gave me a bit of a newfound respect for
I think
him.
if you watch Family Guy, I know he's not writing the thing single-handedly, but I mean, it strikes you. It's quite a self-aware and quite funny program, really, for it being about cartoons and a lot of kind of like toilet humour. It's quite switched on, really.
Well,
very self-aware.
I've been a Family Guy fan since the very beginning. I remember the first episode.
It was our mate Ollie.
Yeah,
and he was recording them. And
it was around about the time we're doing our GCSEs.
Aye.
Because I was doing revision for maths with him. Actually, no, it was around about the time we're doing A levels. We're older than I thought.
Aye.
Around about the time we're doing A levels, I was revising for maths with him. Fat lot of good that did, because to this day I don't have a maths A level. So say what you will.
People know what we do with maths. They watch Geordie Space Program.
But I'd get over, I'd take my course book around, would sit down, would watch that week's episode of Family Guy, and then we'd get down to some hard revision.
That's what you call it.
That's what we call it. Maybe it was the Family Guy that was the problem.
Aye.
You know what?
I remember it quite well. It was happy days, happy carefree days.
So I've always been a fan. I like American Dad as well. I think American Dad's getting stronger, and I think Family Guy goes through peaks and troughs season on season. Sometimes it's not so great. Sometimes it's really good.
American Dad. I've watched bits of it, but I've never really followed it closely. I've watched a fair few of them, but to be honest, it comes down to my wife. My wife doesn't particularly like it, so it means I didn't get to watch it.
We are now 13 minutes into the video. We still haven't talked much about Kerbal Space Program. We've just bounced from topic to topic.
That's what happens when you record on a Friday night and you have drinks.
I like topics, actually. You know, the
chocolate bars.
Is
this another sponsor? Jesus, how many sponsors have we got?
I've got about 14 seconds to that note, so I'm going to pour a bit of beer into my glass.
It's alright, I'm hovering. I can't reach the buttons, but I'm hovering.
Right, I better stop pouring the beer. That's enough.
Aye.
That's enough beer. And boom! Oh, nice. Did you hear the backfiring from the engines there?
I thought I could mask it with the sounds of the engine. It's probably not very loud on the recording.
You know what? This is going to give us sort of our entire transfer manoeuvre, I think. From something I cobbled together, this is actually not a bad rocket. Although it is ridiculously expensive for what we're...
And we've already blown one up and the launch pad. So it's not that fucking balmy. Let's just get that right.
To be honest, this probably costs more than our interplanetary rocket does, and we're just going to the Mun and back. Well, hopefully back. I'm confident to say that we're going to the Mun. Whether or not we're coming back is a completely different matter.
Well, there we go. That's I'll do it.
Spot on. Right.
We might get enough to start circularising my orbit when we get to the Moon.
I want to circularise the orbit and then skip ahead if needs be.
It'll be there, you panicked there.
Yeah. For a second there I thought I was shooting for the wrong place.
Yeah, moons and planets move over time. That's like a fundamental law.
It's been 4 weeks and 2 beers. So yeah, I want to circularise the orbit and wait until the crater's on the light side, because that's the problem we had last time. And also I've just realised when we were saying that we didn't put any lights on the damn thing. So we definitely have to wait until there's a bit of sunshine on that crater, otherwise we'll have some trouble.
Be okay, I've still got another few beers there. We'll just engage people with our witty repartee while we're waiting for the thing to come down. Alright. So, 71. You're full of strange noises today.
I am. I'm very tired.
You occasionally make them. But
my first driving lesson was 4 hours long, which is a long time.
You killed 17 people.
You know, when I did my theory test, I'm pretty sure I killed a motorcyclist.
What?
You know, you do the hazard...
It's on a computer. If people are dying, you've done something drastic.
You do the hazard perception test.
Yeah.
And there was, at one point in the hazard perception test, the motorcyclist was coming towards me in the right-hand lane, and he swerved out into my lane, and I swear to God I pressed the button, but that click did not register, and I lost 5 points, but I still passed. What do you need to pass? So it's out of 75, and I think you need a 45 to pass. So 45, 50, 60.
It must have changed. When I did it, it was like you did
65.
Did something like
so you
20,
can kill.
you get 15.
You can probably kill about 5 cyclists and be okay.
Well, that's just like the rules of the
rules of the road. So you can kill 5 cyclists before you lose your license.
Mine.
I say cyclist, I mean motorcyclist.
On
sorry.
my hazard perception test, I failed it the first time. I aced the questions because they're pretty easy. You read a book and it says do this, and then you go into a booth and it says, what do you do if this happens?
Oh, don't get me started about the questions, because the questions annoy me.
But I'll tell you what happened with my hazard perception first before we get on to that. The thing is, you're watching a video. I've grown up in the age of video games, so I'm told that the game is you're going to see a video of a car driving, and when you know what's going to go wrong, you hit the button. So what was I doing? You see your car coming along, and then you see like another car approaching a junction. So I hit the button and said, that's a hazard, because that car's going to, he's going to swing out wide or something like that. And then the car would swing out wide. And then when I got to the end of the test, I got like 0. Because I'd seen what was happening. I hit the button. I went, you hit the button too early. And I was like, what do you mean I hit the button too early? I saw there was going to be a hazard. If I was physically driving that car, I would have slowed down and think, he's a wanker in that micro over there. He's going to come swinging out this corner like nobody's business. He'll take me front end off. I'm going to just back off. And then I'm probably going to give him daggers as he goes by.
There's an Audi there. He's going to be a dick.
He's a Land Rover. He's probably just going to like mow down that child and then drive off laughing.
Well, I think they've changed the rules now. In terms of or rather changed the instructions so it's a little clearer, because what they tell you is you press the button when you would start to have to make an adjustment yourself to factor in for it. So, I mean, that's a little clearer. I'm going to drop this stage now.
Yeah, it was never explained to me in that fashion, which is ridiculous.
Right, so there's my boys. They're on the light side at the minute, which is good. So what I want to do is try and find the midpoint of that thingy blobby and try and get us in line with them.
Yep.
So that looks to be fairly sweet.
Slows the F down right over the top of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drop your rocket right on their faces.
So as I was saying, yeah, I've got issues with the questions. One particular question irritated me, and this came up in a lot of my practices, and it came up in my actual theory test as well. And it was, what is the name of a crossing that both pedestrians and cyclists can use? And the answer is, it's Toucan crossing. Funny enough, 3 days after I passed that, I went to Leeds and I crossed on a Toucan crossing, and I spotted it from a mile off because I had, a big green light for when the cyclists could go over, and I had a little cycle lane next to it.
And there was a Toucan on the top of it.
There wasn't a Toucan on the top of it. However, my issue with that question is, yes, you need to know how to recognise a crossing that both cyclists and pedestrians
if something is on it,
can use.
You would stop.
Well, there's that, but you don't need to know what it's called. Knowing what it's called doesn't help you recognise it. It doesn't help you know what to do when you get there. And at the end of the day, red light, don't go. People on road, don't run them over. Doesn't matter if they're on a bike and they're not supposed to be there. If they're on a bike going over a pedestrian crossing and the light is green, you still can't run them over.
Really, it should be, the theory test should be one question, and it should say, you're driving in your car one day and you see somebody, do you A, kill them, or B, try really hard not to kill them? And you tick B and they go, yeah, he'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Or C, I drive an Audi. And then they're like, well, he probably, what's going to happen there.
Well, there are sensible things. There are sensible questions. But that one, to me, was just silly.
The other thing is, I can remember there was a load of questions about, what's the stopping distance for a car travelling at 40 miles an hour in like light rain? You go, I don't know. What I know is, if I'm driving physically on a road, I go, I'm a bit close, I better just pull back a little bit. And if it's rainy, I go, I'm a bit close and it's a bit rainy, I'll just back off that little touch more.
The stopping distances is another one that I don't like. I learned the stopping distances, I got a stopping distance question, and I did get it right. But the thing that annoys me about that is it tells you in what condition, how many seconds gap you need to leave in the car in front, and that's more important. If you know if it's snowing,
I couldn't
you need
tell
to keep
you
a 10-second gap.
18.5 metres. I'm maintaining 18.5 metres. I'm not flying a fucking jet fighter. I don't have radar telling us me distances. It's not elite.
I know in rainy conditions, if I've got a 4-second gap, then I'm probably all right. But I can't measure it, especially when they're moving and I'm moving. Sometimes it's slightly different speeds.
Dude, I think this is the worst commentary we've ever done. We haven't once referred to the game since we were still in Kerbals. We're just ranting about driving.
We're coming in.
Theory
We're coming
tests.
in on the light side of the moon. I'm slowing it down now so that we'll land in central to the crater, along next to our 2 lost souls, and then we're going to pick them up and head home.
We're definitely going to the right people.
Unless they're on the other side of the planet. No, they're there.
No, I just mean there's 2 of them, and that is quite a bit of a distance when you think about it.
No, that's the right guys. That's them.
That's okay then. All right.
I'm just killing that vertical. I'm going to shoot over a little bit.
What we like for fuel and lecky?
Lecky!
Get the lecky on.
What?
Oh,
You
it's
don't
fine.
need for lecky. I'll put a couple of the panels out. I'll not put them all out just in case we break them.
Aye. I feel better. I always prefer it when we're getting solar energy. Champion.
Right. That's for our axis.
Burn.
So we're coming in at 100 meters a second. I've
Slightly.
left with a little bit of overhang so we can close down.
Aye.
We're at 64,000 feet and dropping. Where's my radar altitude in this thing? There's my radar altitude. Now that doesn't kick in until 3,000 feet.
Meters. That's 9,000 feet. It's not even. There's no metric system in the game.
How do I get back into the M? Yeah, and then C. Should I put the legs out?
We need to stop drinking.
I'll
Yes,
put
put the legs out. Put the legs out.
G. It is G, isn't it?
Press the button at the top. That's the brakes. What good are your brakes? Lights. Why aren't the legs working? Why aren't the legs?
Nothing's working. I've got no control. Quick save. I've got no control.
Why not?
I don't know. Your keyboard's not working. This is a bug. This is a legitimate reason to quick load. I've got no control over the ship because we were in time warp.
You are a mong, do you know that? An absolute mong!
Shall I be a real puss and quick load?
I've had a drink, I don't mind. Do it.
What's the quick load button?
5. No. Was that a quick... That was a... Right, okay.
Right. Let's do this properly.
That...
It's burn like we've got a pair.
Well, we don't need to now. We're still fucking miles up. I mean, we came down fairly sharpish there, but that's just because you were wetting yourself.
And because we were going at 4 times speed without me realising it.
Yeah. Now, can you remember when we first envisaged Geordie Space Program, the plan was we would do every episode drunk? I think the plan was that we came up with the idea of
I think we come up
being drunk when we do it while we were drunk.
I think we come up with most of our ideas while we are drunk.
Do you know, if you harken back to ancient history, I forget which way around it goes, but there was the Dacians and the Thracians who kind of lived up sort of like slightly to the northeast of where Italy is, sort of around Romania, that kind of area.
Like in sort of Thrace type of area.
Yeah, Thracians and Dacians. And I forget which tribe was which, but for argument's sake, the Thracians came up with their decisions, political decisions, whilst drunk. And the argument was they would come up with the ideas while they were hammered, and if in the cold light of day the ideas still made sense, they would say, right, well, yeah, we'll do that. The Dacians, again for argument's sake, had a much better idea.
2,000, we're landing at 1,600.
Cool. The Dacians, what they did was, they got drunk and said, right, okay, I've came up with this idea, and then if it was still a good idea the next time they got drunk, they would say, yep, it's definitely still a good idea. Because basically they were hammered all the time. They loved to drink. But yeah, I just thought it was a really good idea.
And how are those mighty civilizations doing these days?
It's hard to tell, really. I mean, it was a long time ago.
Where the hell are our dudes?
They're down there.
Okay, we're a little bit away from them.
They're across. If you turn the camera around 180, there they are. Just out of the lip of that.
I mean, I could pop over that way. Or I could land and bring them to us via EVA.
What do you think is your best chance of not killing anything?
EVA.
Are you sure? Because, you know, when you're EVAing on the surface, you can pick up a fair old bit of speed.
The problem is, I don't know which way our ship's facing at the moment.
Well, it's facing up. The legs are pointing at the ground. Oh, that's quite clever. Don't get too much speed. There's a lot of... That'll carry you. That'll carry you. You'll have to kill that off.
I'm aware. I don't have to kill it off.
Yeah, there we are. Just surfing my way across. Hey, that cut off half a kilometre. Still got loads of speed. If you're going to do it, it should be kind of horizontal as well. Because you're pushing yourself up. And
well, I want to be pushed up.
Aim at them like a fucking dart.
2,000. We're 300 feet off the ground.
Well, yeah, it's alright. Now you're going up. You're going up at some considerable speed.
34 kilometres a second. That's hardly considerable.
No, that is.
Meters.
That's meters.
34 kilometres would...
Yeah, that would be well in it.
Right, we're less than 1k.
Kill your vertical. Please, for the love of God. No, horizontal. Jesus. Right, we cannot record drunk. That cannot be a thing.
I know what I'm doing, Gonzo.
You say that in every episode, and every episode there's a body count.
I know what I am doing, Gonzo.
This actually looks as though you're doing not too shabby.
That's close enough that I can EVA them over without it taking an absolute
Oh no,
age.
that's fine. It's making sure this thing can take off again is what I'm concerned about.
Right, we need the shadow.
Right. Nice and gently does. We've still got loads of fuel. That's not a concern. This looks as though it's on a slight hill.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We'll see if it's alright.
Significant hill.
Nah, it's fine. If it's not fine, I'll just take off again and we'll find a nice spot to land.
Right, cut your engines, because now you're motoring. Please, for the love of God, DVLA, do not give this man a licence. Right. This is quite good. You've aborted, but not in a way that's destroyed the craft. You aborted that landing attempt. So...
Hang on, I'm totally discombobulated here.
If you press W, it'll go the wrong way. What? Oh, now you can tell there's alcohol on board the ship.
Don't you worry.
Right.
Don't you worry.
Maybe people have been waiting for the point where we just kind of lost all hope and got drunk when we recorded. Maybe that's the thing that's supposed to happen. Right, here, right, tense. Closer, flatter, liking it. Don't die. For the love of Christmas, don't die. Kill that off nice, still good speed. See the shadow. It's not bad, I'd maybe kick your throttle up a touch. Oh, that's not a bad landing. Ooh. Yep, that's it. That's not alright. Oh my. Oh, giddy hunt! I don't know if they've got physics, to be honest, but that did panic us. Where they went?
Like
Oh, there they are. Right, okay. Fuel wasn't a concern.
it's becoming a concern.
Yes. It's starting to become a concern. Ever so slightly.
I haven't played this game in too long. That's the problem. So I came down a bit hard there. That was the problem.
Yeah, that was the problem. You bounced at an angle.
So go nice and gently. Try and come in nice and slow. Keep that retrograde action.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm managing.
Are you checking your phone while I'm desperately doing this manoeuvre?
Texting my missus. She's just text to say what time her train's getting in.
Alright, what time's she getting in?
She's getting in at 7:30. It's 6:20 the time of recording.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a thrilling moment.
I'm watching. I've got one eye on it.
If you can't be bothered to watch, I don't know what you expect other people to do.
Hey, I'm here. I'm watching it, one eye. When I watch YouTube videos, you don't find me staring, intently at the screen. If you do, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but usually I'm doing other things. I'll put it on on my iPad. I'll watch a bit Northern Line. Put that on my iPad. Just leave it playing. Usually I'm playing a game or I'm doing a bit of work. Or
I am sorry that was such an awkward landing.
we're down. That's good enough. Right. We're down and we're actually close. We have tried this a few times and it's never worked, and it nearly didn't work twice there. But you've done it.
Right, let's get hers on over there. Just making sure he's got enough EVA because I don't know if we used any last time. Oh, there you go. The distance is closing nice. I mean, in sort of solar terms, this is quite a close landing. Getting less than a kilometre away.
It's very, very good. Usually the only time we get less than a kilometre away from something is when we crash into it. So this isn't actually that bad at all.
Look, I can see it. I can make out its subtle contours.
Yeah, well, don't get too fixated on its subtle contours. Be fixated about your speed and your fuel. Because
fuel situation's going to be hunky-dory.
Down to 80% now.
Wow.
Well, that was a good burp.
Mm.
Jeez. I mean, at least I burped when the engine's kicked in. You just burped in the silentness of space.
I know, it's just going to be filling up the helmet, isn't it?
Like a fart. What's the old joke with a fart in the space?
Fart in the space suit,
he's been outside for days. He is going to be full of piss and shit and God knows what else. Can't change a nappy in a spacesuit.
Is that the new saying?
Yes, there we go.
That's a gonzoism, ladies and gentlemen.
There's been many of them over the years. My personal favourite is pissing through the eye of a racehorse.
My personal favourite is wreck yourself before you mess yourself, which is what you genuinely thought the song lyrics were.
Well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense in the life that I live. If you're going to mess yourself, might as well get wrecked before you do it. At least then you're not going to care as much. Yeah, of course. If you're completely sober and, straight-laced and then you mess yourself, you're going to be full of woe. But if you're a bit wrecked, you'll think, well, that's a mistake. But could be worse. You haven't blocked the hatch, have you?
I may have blocked the hatch.
What?
The hatch may be blocked.
Get that little bastard in that little capsule before I go apeshit. Why did you put you were building this and I saw you with a parachute. What was that? Bits are coming off now.
The Kerbal Space Program 1.0 will feature a handy little warning if you do things like block exits or...
That release can't come around quick enough then, Sunshine, is all I'm going to say. Get him in. Oh, he's in!
No, I turned the engine on. Ooh.
Right. Do it again with less drama. Out he gets. Right. 690 metres. Go, go, go.
Go, Gadget, go. Our younger viewers will maybe not understand Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget. It's probably like played 15 times a day on the Cartoon Network or something.
Stands the test of time, doesn't it?
Originally a French programme. That's why the lip syncing looks slightly off on it.
Ah.
Aye. There you go.
You'd be telling us that Dr. Claw was the good guy in the original version.
No, he was called Le Dr. Claw.
Le Dr. Claw.
And Le Penny.
Was it not Le Dr. Le Claw?
Le Dr. Le Claw.
Du Terre, because he's from Earth.
Because everybody who's French speaking on Earth has their name ended in Du Terre.
It's a running joke between me and the missus that everything that is of the Earth in
should
French ends with de terre. So
like
that is in fact most things.
Yeah.
So a pomme de terre would be an apple.
Yeah.
Whereas
apple of the earth.
Yeah. Whereas a potato would be pomme de terre de terre.
The long
which is
must just fly
pomme de terre of the earth.
Now you're having a bit of bother getting this.
Same issue as before. The way I got hers in was by not grabbing the ladder and going straight into the cockpit.
I saw.
Which is what I'm trying to do. Ah, sticky keys! Sticky keys!
Right, that's probably fine. I fucking hate sticky keys. I've disabled them twice. They're the most persistent little bastards. Right, F. He's in.
It's because we're constantly just tapping that shift button to get the momentum right.
Aye.
Right, I'm pouring my beer before we take off.
Just zoom out and let's have a bit of a look here. See, Gonzo's at the helm. See, that's nice. That's where we were.
See, we're only 19.4k away from the other ship. We could have gave it a go if we had a forklift attached.
Yeah. I mean, the front legs kind of flip up.
Well, we've only got 3 seats in this bad boy anyway, so...
Still flip it up. At least you can get out and stretch his legs.
No. Oh. Let's just head back to Kerbal now.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Up.
In the legs, eh?
Yeah.
I feel bad that we cheated by using the quick load, but...
You know what? This stage, I think people would forgive us for the fact that we've actually achieved something. People have probably been saying for at least 6 months, wish these bastards would use quick load. They would get far more done if they just kept saves coming.
We're not going up as quick as I was expecting with this.
Yeah, well, they're very heavy crewmen just taken on board.
Right, so let's get us back into. Okay,
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
That's a bit weird. Yeah, I need to get it closer to the app. Okay, that is a bit weird.
What's going on?
It's using our current trajectory. It's dropping the maneuver nodes there.
On. Yeah, it's
There we go.
Yeah, it's. I think we must have been locked on the previous craft in terms of the map.
Hang on, let's get back here and cancel all those.
Yeah, it's bloody. Where's the movement?
Where's the where the?
Where are we? Oh, this can happen.
Okay,
quick save and quick load.
Quick save.
That was a genuine bug. It can still happen.
What, the fact the mun disappears?
Well, everything can disappear off it. You just
right, there we go. We're
So
back. We're good.
We're in control.
Lost a little bit of time. Still got plenty of time to plan the manoeuvre.
And see, it doesn't take much really to ping you back.
You know what the problem is though? It's not going to tell us how long it's going to take to do this manoeuvre now.
But it's alright. Just tap your engines. That's good enough. Just tap your engine.
I'll do what I did last time. Get rid of that. Shut down engine. No.
Intergalactic.
I've set the parachutes off.
What?
I've set the parachutes off.
Why have you done that?
I didn't mean to.
Why have we got the parachutes out? We're still quite a bit of a distance away from home. I think you've been premature with your parachutes.
I just hope they still deploy when we get there, is all I'm saying. Estimated burn 5 minutes. What's going on? There's something going on.
Oh, hang on,
with
is
the
it
engine.
thrust limited? It is?
I must have clicked that by accident.
Jiminy Crickets.
Right, that's better. 40 seconds. We lost a lot of fuel.
We've lost a shed load of fuel.
Right, this is just atrocious. My finger just brushed across the spacebar by accident there when I was pressing, going for the M key. And
this is horrendous.
It's okay, they should still deploy, shouldn't they? Because they'll automatically deploy when they hit an atmosphere.
I'm saying nothing, mate. Because, you know, I've never deployed the parachutes on the moon and then tried to go home. That's the thing that I've never thought.
We've got an engineer. We could get him out to repack the parachutes.
I think the parachutes do need to physically like deploy and puff up before you can repack them.
I mean, they're still there.
I think
they
it's all,
deployed.
Frankly, the amount of fuel we've got now, I think it's kind of all academic.
Nah, we've got enough to get.
You know, I'm not a one for building up a fake sense of suspense here. I genuinely think we're screwed.
Really?
Yeah, that's not enough fuel.
Well, at least we'll be in curve and all, but then we can do an intercept and bring them back from there. So we're getting closer, and we've only spent about 500 grand to do it.
But we can't really. We're not very good at intercepts. You're all right. You've done some bits that aren't too bad at all. Bit more. There we go.
Intercepts are one of the few things I think I can get away with. Yeah, that fuel's not great. We've maybe got about 15 seconds worth of fuel there, I would think.
That's going to be close. It's usually about 20 odd seconds with it. The engine to get the move. What's broken?
That solar panel.
That's why you smacked into it.
It wasn't even deployed and it still smashed a bit.
Yeah. Okay, then just plot your retro. Yeah, that's where you want to do it.
Well, that's the most fuel efficient place to do it. Okay, it's tight. And
tight? It's 12 seconds over, pal.
That was only an estimate.
Yeah, that'll do. Right. Estimated burn. They're going to end up in a crazy elliptical orbit.
We will see. We will see. Right. What am I doing? Let's get the panels out. Just for fun.
The last one that works. That's broken, remember?
We've got an engineer. Is one of these guys an engineer? I wish he...
They need to be
able to...
leveled up before they can repair stuff, remember? We tried that on the moon with the wheels, possibly.
You really need to be able to see what they are when they're in the cockpit.
I have some sort of visual identifier or something, even if it's like different coloured suits or...
Different coloured suits or something like that, yeah.
Lady Kerbals even are making it into the game.
They are. They're going to be a feature for 1.0.
That's
Squad are all about the equality.
Well, I think that's only quite right, especially for something like a sandbox game.
Well, to be honest,
let's be honest. In space programs, ladies go to space as well, so that's a good thing.
Name me one female astronaut.
The only one I can name you really is Armstrong, Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong, the famous female astronaut.
Yeah. The first
Louis Armstrong.
First jazz clarinetist on the moon. You know that.
Well done, that's particularly good. I don't feel shaming that you can't name any, because, to be honest, I can't name any astronauts other than, I don't know, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, really.
Louis Armstrong. I can,
Louis
Armstrong. He was called, his friends called him Louis, I think you'll find.
Big L, actually.
Neil, open brackets, Louis, close brackets, Armstrong. I can picture a few of the lady astronauts, like, you know, when the Challenger space shuttle blew up. I was watching a programme on that not too long ago since, and they were showing the crew picture.
We're sound here, mate. We've got wads of fuel.
Yeah. That's very comfy. Oh, well, providing the parachutes haven't been destroyed, should be all right.
Oh, there we go.
That's collision.
Well, there's nothing I like than shooting into a planet like a dart.
Yeah, you hate the whole sensible landing, don't you?
I do.
For a much more dramatic conclusion. Whoa, get in. Where is it?
Easy.
Find it. There it is.
There it is. Should we do a crew report? I know we'll not get any sign. Oh! Wow. We've not done a crew report from high in space, so we're trying here.
Bigger fish to fry.
Fantastic.
15 signs.
I suppose it's a good report. Like, I've been to the moon, I've rescued the people, I'm coming back home. Not a bad little mission.
It's not bad. After 3 days, he bothers to get back in touch to say, "Don't worry, coming back."
Had some issues, but it's all worked out okay.
It's like when you were
coming in on the dark side, unfortunately.
It's like when you were a kid and you were playing out. You know, like around at a friend's house or something about 9 o'clock at night. You'd like call up and like, "Oh, just to let you know, I'm across at Chris's house." And your mum and dad would be like, "I've sent the police out."
Do you remember when we stopped over at Duncan's house and I forgot to ring my mum and ask if it was okay, and I remembered at like 9 o'clock the following morning?
Oh, she was
not happy.
There go the panels, because you forgot to bring them in like a dunderhead. There it goes. See, you activated the servers.
Well, the parachute's
out and on fire. That's reassuring.
We're landing in the ocean on the dark side, so it's going to be not the most exciting one to watch. Particularly, I might as well turn the RCS and the SAS off and just let the parachutes take over.
Yeah, they're there now. That wasn't too bad at all, really.
Bring the legs out. For what good they'll do.
I don't know if people will be able to see anything. You know, like if we get at least the light side, people might be able to make out what's going on.
If we look towards the land, we're not far from the land. Well, we're pretty far from the land.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to swim that.
But all in all, despite my multitude of cock-ups on this one, and I will hold my hands up and say, this has not been a good piloting experience.
Yeah.
We've made it with a little bit of fuel to spare.
It's a shame I'd worked out a catchphrase that I was going to use when this went wrong, but we'll save it for the end of this episode.
I think one of the things we discussed for Kerbal 1.0 when we do reboot the series is that we'll be using the Kerbal Shorts platform, which we've only really used a couple of times so far, as a test bed for actually testing out rocket designs, and we'll not be proud. If we come up with something that is good, we will import that into the game.
Unless it's something particularly special or crazy that we'll want to build for an episode, we're going to try and keep construction.
So I appreciate that
pretty much minimum.
People probably, when they're watching a video that's 30, 40, 50 minutes long, they don't want 3/4 of that to be building the rocket.
Yeah, it's appreciated.
And is this thing going to fall to bits when it lands? That's the main question. 7.8 meters a second. It's a lot faster than what we're landing on the moon.
It's got less fuel than I thought it was going to do. Nice.
Sweet. Ooh. Oh, is it going to go? Is it going to go? Wouldn't it be hilarious if it did that and it blew up?
My heart was in my mouth because I was convinced that was going to happen.
Let's recover the vessel.
Top was going to be broken off.
So let's see what we're going to get here. We're going to get a bit of experience from our brave Kerbal notes that we've sent out.
Yeah, just kind of wrap things up. What's happened?
We've got 16.3 science for that.
Not bad.
We've recovered 19,500.
That's alright, that only cost 180 grand on top of the 500 grand or so that was spent the first time round.
Oh, well, you think about that, but also think about the cost of the failed space base as well on top of that.
Two failed space
bases. This is
million
it's going to
cost
us a couple of million, I would say.
Aye.
I think we had about 3 million at one point. Now we're down to the 1.2 mark, so it's not been good.
Yeah.
However, 6 XP gained, 7 XP gained, and 5 XP gained. Munford gets the least. I'm not sure why.
No.
I'm not sure why he gets less.
Well, Urzon's probably got more because he's touched down and walked around on the planet.
Do you think him getting out and doing the EVA gave him a bit more?
Yeah, it might have done.
That would explain why he's got one more than Landball.
Aye.
Landball got out and did an EVA in a high above Kerbin.
Aye.
Landball, good man.
Yeah,
he did a good job there.
Rising through the ranks quickly, as far as I'm concerned. That was
did a damn good job. Brought a couple of guys home
with drunks and mission command. Good for him.
Yeah, it's quite the achievement. So yeah, Jeffred's level 1, Berlin's level 1, Munford's now level 1, Urzon's level 1.
We've not done too bad at all there. In any event, I think we should start wrapping things up. That was a pretty successful journey. So if you've enjoyed the video, we always appreciate it. If you'd like to drop a like, if you want to give us a comment, tell us what you think, or if you haven't already, it would be really appreciated if you give us a subscription as well. We're a tiny channel trying to grow all the time. We hope you've enjoyed it, and this is us signing off for now. One last thing that I'd like to say is don't drink in space.
Yeah, don't drink in space, people. Good night.